All right, we are here today with Alex Murray with Edina Realty, and my name is Nate Raich with Refined Lending. We are with Luminate Home Loans as well, so we're a division. And Alex, over the years, and I know it's hard to believe I'm a little older than you, but over the years I've been watching from afar, and you have really stood out with your approach in the community and your value add as a real estate agent. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got started?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
You bet. Yeah.
I've been licensed as a realtor since 2013. So just hit 10 years. I started in the industry part-time, trying to get on my feet while I was actually doing hair. Might not look like it, but at one point that was my career of choice. But hopped in, I joined a team, was on a team for a few years, and recently actually ended up going out solo on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a ride. So, little by little, I have, put one step or one foot in front of the other and just kind of dove right into real estate. So
Do you feel like that's the path for most real estate agents, is to go on a team and then break out on their own?
I think that a lot do. And there certainly is benefits to being on a team. It's to kind of learn the business, learn the ins and outs, the basics. But I think a lot of times, as agents grow to be successful and run a successful business, they do end up venturing on their own so that they can kind of build a name and a brand for themselves.
And you have done that very well, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, Alex, you stand out in the crowd for sure.
Thank you.
What was your mindset to go out on your own? Like, when I did that as in the lending industry, like there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of pressure on yourself, and no one's puts enough on themselves and you, right? So walk me through that for some of the agents out there that might be thinking of doing that.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's certainly scary. And I will tell you that the weeks leading up to me making my final decision to leave the team that I was on was a roller coaster of emotions. At one point, my husband walked into our bedroom. I was laying upside down on my bed, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to see things from a different perspective." Like, that's how scary it can be. And that's okay. But at the same time, I had cheerleaders that were rooting for me, telling me that I could do this. And I took the leap and I did it. So as scary as it was, I tell people I function a little bit on high functioning anxiety. And that's kind of what gets me to do the things that I do, not only on a daily basis, but within my business and within my family as well, and personal life as well. But it's a lot, to come up with. And I think that as long as you have the right people behind you, backing you, supporting you, it can absolutely be done.
That's amazing. Great job. And thank you for standing up as a pillar of hope for a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So.
I think that this industry, there are a lot of big teams, there are a lot of small teams, there are a lot of solo agents, and it doesn't hurt to certainly lean on others, as far as a team goes when you're first getting into the business. But just because you're a solo agent doesn't mean you can't have the support, that you would get being on a team as a solo agent. I'm a solo agent myself, and I have an incredible team behind me that allows me to do the things that I do in the way that I do to be successful. I have an assistant, I have a transaction coordinator, I have a marketing coordinator, I have an incredible title rep, and I simply wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. And my broker's incredible as well.
Yes, he is, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
He
He is one of a kind, that's for sure.
For sure.
So
tell me a little bit about, as this industry evolves, technology is. Everybody talks about AI and those type of approaches with the computer, not the computer, but the software that you use or the website. So tell me a little bit about.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm like the least tech savvy person. Okay. So I know that AI is becoming really big in our industry, and a lot of agents are really leaning on it. However, I would argue that in some cases, AI isn't something to lean on, because you take away the authenticity of creating something for you and branding yourself or doing your marketing in a way that makes your marketing you.
Yeah.
So I struggle. I've tried to use AI. I know that there are agents that do it when they're coming up with their public remarks for their listing. And, AI doesn't know a home like you do. You can certainly lean on it, but, a lot of the AI and generated Chat GPT stuff, I've tried it and I read it and I'm like, this isn't authentically me. So for that reason, I don't use it. And so, do I sit at the office a little bit longer to pull together my marketing pieces? Absolutely.
And if you don't know how to spell, that's even a challenge in itself. No, I'm just kidding.
I did. Well, let's not talk about math. No. So I know that it's becoming a big part of our industry. It's not something that I currently lean on heavily at all. I don't know that because of who I am and how I do things that I'll ever lean heavily on it. I could watch this 10 years from now and be like, what was I saying? But who knows? For now, it's not something that I heavily use. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, because I mean, a lot of people do want to lean on that and find avenues to capture that next transaction. Maybe we'll go into that in our next conversation.
Yep.
So again, thank you for joining us here today. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.